All right, Paul Pierce said he would walk to work if the Celtics did not win Game 2. And the video was all over Instagram. So, and then Paul, this is Paul right here saying, yeah, okay, I'll walk to it. Look at this. Look how dark it is out.
5 in the morning.
Look at that.
It took me 7 hours. I'm still exhausted, can't you tell? Look.
So, by the way, when Paul finally arrived at work, maybe you've seen this scene before, he had to be wheeled into work.
Brings back memories, huh?
7 hours. What are your feet? You got size 14, 15 feet.
My feet are torched right now.
What? Here's my thing. It's one thing to blow a 20-point lead in Game 1. I didn't look at it as embarrassing. I said, listen, you led by 20. You beat this team all year. What am I supposed to make of that offense in the last 8 minutes of Game 2 at home?
You know what, Colin? That's a mindset. Truthfully, that has nothing to do with game planning. That's a mindset. The game plan is there. You go up 20. The game plan is there. There's nothing Mazzulla, nothing more he can do. The game plan is there. The blueprint is there. Y'all did it all year long. Y'all go about the game print for 3 quarters, and then all of a sudden, just mental lapse in the 4th quarter. That's all it is. It's not X's and O's at this point.
But why doesn't Tatum? And I've said, I understand the fascination and the analytics and Brad Stevens building a 3-point shooting roster.
Yeah.
But at some point, I've said this, Michael and Kobe and Paul Pierce would have pushed back and said, guys, I'm getting a basket.
For sure.
I think Jason is too collaborative. Dude, grab the ball and take it to the basket.
Right.
4 or 5 times in a row. Even his last shot, left side, fall away. Is it fair to say he has to be convinced to be a dog?
That's fair at times, because I feel like that about him. Because I see it. I know it's in him because I've seen it a bunch of times.
That's right.
I mean, you just don't become a first-team All-NBA player
without some of it.
Yes, exactly. I mean, talent can take you so far. I get it. But mentality can take you further. And the guys that you talk about have it all the time and never cut it off. Sometimes I feel like he goes away, he forgets about it.
Yeah.
And has to be constantly reminded to be that way.
Okay. The NBA is allowing a very physical playoff brand.
I love it. Yeah.
So do I. And for the record, that's why you flourished in the playoffs. You were a physical player. You played defense. Can I argue that this level of physicality, Chris Finch and Steve Kerr are like, this is the next level, that it actually, I could argue, benefits the less talented team. This is going to be a close series because the Knicks aren't pretty. The Celtics are pretty. Yeah. Everybody can pass and shoot. The Knicks aren't. And when you let OG grab and lean, that the new officiating leans into New York's favor.
Yeah. You know what? You know what's so crazy about that? I always said when I played on teams that wasn't as good, I said, we have to do something different. When I played at the Park, when I played at AAU, when I played in high school, when we weren't a better team, that team, I said, you know what, guys? And this was the game plan. This was always the game plan, Colin, since I've been a kid. I said, we got to junk up the game.
Junk it up.
We got to junk the game up. And by saying that, we got to foul, we got to grab, we got to push, we got to do things that they're not used to doing. We got to take this game to the playgrounds.
So this is what we said about the Knicks. The playground is beating the classroom.
Yes.
And the Knicks are a playground team, and the other guys are math guys.
Absolutely. That's exactly what you see right here. And that's the only way you bring a team that's up here to you down to your level. You junk it up. It's like a boxing match. You know what I'm saying? Like a guy was more talented, but then you start grabbing, holding, doing things that this better boxer just not used to doing.
Right.
And you junk it up. Body blows, grabbing, holding, elbow, headbutting. You start doing things, and that's what the Knicks are doing.
Right.
To the Celtics.
I said this. I was very reluctant to say Jalen Brunson's a 1. But I got to tell you, 1 is about durability and toughness and resilience and dog.
Yeah.
I think he's a 1.
What does that mean?
I have
He
four.
can be your best player on the championship
So
team?
yes, here's what I say. There's 4 things to be a 1.
Okay.
Productivity, can't average 9 a game. You have to be emotionally and physically ready to play every night. You have to be durable. Kawhi Leonard's available 38. That's not a 1. I can't build around you. And 4, you have to have a dog. You got to be a dog at least some of the time. You got to want to close. You can't run from the shot. And then I look at him and I go, okay, I'm not saying he's LeBron in his prime. I'm not saying he's Paul Pierce. I'm not saying he's Tatum. But what box doesn't, he's a great closer. He's productive. He's durable. He's emotionally always available. He has bad games. He never has a no-show game.
I just, like, Jalen Brunson is an amazing player. He's one of the top point guards. I would love him to be on the next Olympic team when it gets to L.A. I just don't think he can be your best player on a championship team.
1A. He can be 1A. Giannis goes to New York. He can be the...
Okay. Right.
He'll have the ball more than Giannis.
Yeah.
He'll hit the free throws late over Giannis.
Yes.
But Giannis will be the force.
Absolutely, like Kobe and Shaq. You know what I'm saying? Kobe was the finisher, but we all knew Shaq was dominant and all of that. Yeah, I agree. But, like, point guards, as good as they are, as good as he is, I don't think a point guard can be your best player. Now, if your point guard is your best player on a championship team, that means he's an all-time great. I'm talking about top 10.
Steph, Magic, Isaiah, that.
And that comes around almost never. You have to have the dynamic wing. I say this all the time. Your dynamic wing has to be your best player on a championship.
I mostly agree, yeah.
And so, but as good as he is, and they may get out of this series with the Celtics, I just think they're missing one piece, and it could be like a Giannis in New York.
Okay, so I have defended Draymond Green for a long time. I've said this. The 3 villains in league history that I watched were Rodman, Lambeer, and Draymond. They leaned into it. They were comfortable being it. Lambeer and Draymond are better offensively than Rodman. They take your best offensive player. They're going to ugly up the game. They're going to get technicals. They will be, fans will be the rudest and sometimes inappropriate toward them. Aggression meets aggression. But I don't, when Draymond says the league is, he feels the league is picking on him, my take is, bro, you chose to be the wrestling heel.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what, Draymond, he definitely chose that. Like, I watch his antics, and I see it. I know how guys do it. He's flailing purposely because I've seen it. I've been in the game where guys do that, and yeah, he's definitely embraced it. But it has to be a point where he should study Dennis Rodman, because Dennis Rodman was so good at getting under your skin without all the extras. Like how he used to force Alonzo Mourning to get technicals, or Karl Malone. Like, you know how he would stand at the free throw line, stare at him. Little stuff like that. Like, he would just get under their skin. I used to watch Rodman like, dang, he not even doing all the bull crap stuff like the Draymond the elbowing, but he's under this guy's skin, and he is out of his game right now. And I think Draymond should study that, because he's like the new generation that.
Draymond's a little more Bill Lambeer.
Yeah,
a little more tackling and obvious.
Yeah, he's a more like.
Was there ever a place, obviously, when you came, you were from L.A., so you weren't a real villain, even though you were a Celtic. Like, there were a lot of people that loved you in L.A. Did you ever go into any arena and feel like, man, they hate me here?
Oh, man. A lot of arenas, man. Indiana, Toronto. I'll never forget that. Because when I got to Washington, I said something prior to the playoffs, and I just remember when I got introduced, it was booze. But I just think being a Celtic you're a villain. Like, it doesn't even matter. Like how we talk about Tatum, how we talked about Larry Bird, and all constant, the best Celtics were always just like, it was always the villain Celtic, and it always carried you wherever you went. It carried me when I left Boston, in Brooklyn. I got booed at the All-Star game here in LA. I did. I got introduced for the three-point contest. I was the defending three-point champ, and I came back, and the next year I was in LA, and they introduced me and they booed me, and I was like, damn, like.
I'm from down the street.
Yeah.
I'm from around the way.
Around the way. So, I mean, it never bothered me. But that was probably the only time it bothered me. because it was the All-Star game.
Yeah.
And I'm like, everybody here is not LA fans. Like, come on.
Okay, so I did this list earlier. J-Mac didn't love it. I said, just because a guy scores, James Harden, it doesn't mean he's a 1. I need guys that play both ends. I need guys that are available emotionally, physically. Okay. I need dog. And the truth is, this is my current list. Now, Butler may have been that 4 years ago. Okay. So my 6, the best sidekicks, Jalen Brown, Butler, Durant, Kawhi, Holmgren, Davis. Davis, just offensively, I'm not quite sure what I get night to night. You said to me, well, where's LeBron?
Yeah. LeBron should be on this list. Top NBA sidekicks? Jamal Murray should be on this list.
No, Jamal and Booker were my next 2.
Okay.
Okay,
well, definitely LeBron now.
So you think LeBron is a 2?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I witnessed it the last 30 games of the season. I saw Luka take over the dynamics of the Lakers, become the guy, number 1 in jersey sales, cheered amongst the fans, and LeBron took the back seat. And that's what pushed him to the number 3 seed in the West.
So I argue there are 21s in the league. J-Mac's like there's 6.
20? No.
Okay, so let's do it again. So he said Halliburton, and I said, oh, that's
no, not a 1. What are we talking about 1s, Colin?
Okay, what is
a 1?
Productivity.
No, a 1 is can he be the best player on a championship team? That's a 1 to me.
You don't think Halliburton can win a title?
I think he can win a title, but can he be the best player on a championship team?
They win tonight. He's going to be in the Eastern Conference Finals against the Knicks.
Can he be the best player on a championship team?
Well, then there's like 4 in the world.
There's only 4 or 5 that can win it every year.
Those are the only ones?
Yep.
So you're telling me, do you okay, let me think about this. Hold on. Is SGA a 1?
Yes.
You think that team can win?
Yes. Is Joker a 1? Yes.
You're always the best player in the world.
Yes. Who are the contenders?
Giannis. Okay. Tatum.
Yeah, he showed he could.
Yeah, but
he did it.
Well,
he already did.
All right,
he did it.
Jalen Brown won the MVP.
Okay. But we all know.
Is Ant a 1?
Absolutely.
Okay, I think, is Kawhi?
No, not no more.
Got to give me more than 40 games.
Yeah, not no more.
So you don't think, I think leadership matters. I never thought Harden was a 1. He didn't defend. By May and June, he was so worn out because he had the ball in his hands. I never thought he was a 1. I thought he was a great number 2.
He could have paired him with somebody else. He could have won it. He didn't have a good pairing.
How about Donovan Mitchell?
That's a good one right there.
I think he's a 1.
I'm conflicted with Donovan Mitchell because of his size at 6'4", 6'3". That conflicts me.
Okay, so I'll tell you one I never thought I don't buy into. Embiid, even when he was healthier. I think he disrupts your offense. I think he's moody. I think he was not available. Never been to a conference championship.
Yes.
When LeBron left the East and it was wide open, couldn't win a second playoff series.
I think Embiid can. He's been an MVP in this league. There's the formula to win it all. You have to have an MVP candidate.
That was a wobbly MVP.
That wasn't a wobbly one.
Jokic. Everybody was like,
Jokic could have got it. Jokic could have got it, but he was still first team all.
Shouldn't you have to win a second playoff series in the East? I'm not asking much.
I mean, he had to run into the Celtics.
That was before they were great.
That's like Baltimore or the Buffalo Bills keep having to run into each other or Kansas City. We all know they could probably win it, but they keep the path. This is a wrong path for them.
All right. So you like Embiid more than I do.
I like Embiid.
You like Harden more than I do. Halliburton has done something Embiid hasn't.
Yeah, he's had a better team.
He's going to be on his second Eastern Conference Finals as a kid.
That's true.
So you're one of these vote him overrated guys?
No, I wouldn't have called him overrated. He's one of those guys that's mind-boggling because it seems like he elevates his game in the playoffs. I've seen that now over multiple years. He's like Jimmy Butler in a way.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like Jimmy Butler kind of like he gets through the regular season, he's a fringe all-star, but then playoffs he just becomes this mega superstar. You know? And that's Halliburton.
All right. Good seeing you, my man.
Good to see you always.
Look at the great Paul Pierce, the Hall of Famer, wobbling into work today.